Welcome to the next lesson. So we're going to basically set up the RealFlow nodes now to do the simulation. One little mistake I did make in the setup that we just will need to correct. And actually, I can just tell you about that, and I've already corrected it, and the file you can use is already there. But basically, in Maya, we did our export from 65 to 200, and actually I needed to do a pre-roll where nothing was happening. So I needed to really have set this here to 1 to 200, and then do my export. Yeah. Well, actually, we can do it again. Let's do it again. So it's exporting again now, but it's exporting the first 65 frames where it didn't do that before. So while this is doing this, we can actually go back into RealFlow, and we can do in your file menu, there's a update SG scene. So we'll just do that. It's saying, yeah, there's a few frames missing. That's because it's still going in the background. But yeah, you can see now we have the first part of this sequence is not doing anything. And why do we need that? Well, it's always good to have a pre-roll on your simulation sometimes when you need to have areas of simulation pre-roll that, you know, allow you to actually do some sort of fluid build-up or some sort of rest state before you actually start the shot. This will come apparent when we start doing the simulations to why we're doing that on this shot. So let me just check if that's finished. Yep, that is finished. So let's go back to RealFlow. I just do File, Update SD Scene. Okay, no errors this time. Now we have the whole animation in there. Nothing happening the first 65 frames, which is exactly what we want. Cool. We are good to go. Also, it's brought in a few different cameras. I can delete these two. I just want one camera for now. That's fine. So the first thing we'll do is we'll just start importing all the elements we need for our effect. What I'll do is we'll create them first, and then I will go through with you and explain why we have them. So K volume, we need a K volume. We need noisy field, and let's add another noisy field. And then we need surface tension, and not forgetting, we need gravity. That should be good for now. We need, okay, that'll be fine. What I tend to do is already started is to organize these into groups. So you just select on a Mac, it's Command select to select multiple. I think it might be Control on a PC, but you just need to select all of the new fields that you have just created, and then if you right click, group, then we just group those. Okay, and then we just need to rename the group, and I tend to rename the group, well, sort of daemons, which is what they are. Okay, I think that's how you spell it. Yep. So we've got that there, we've got the objects, and now I'm just going to put the objects into the objects group. So we have nice, nicely organized system now. Now, if you look inside here, we open the relationship editor a bit. We can now see that, well, where all our objects gone? We've got a lot, we're missing basically objects. We've got this. It's sort of, not very apparent. But if you just double click on this node, they will open up, and we can just organize, remove the objects group over here. Let's expand this out a bit. It's just a good idea to get organized on this stuff. Just sort of tidy it up basically. I don't know if you can actually, it just auto expands, so you can just do something like this, is fine. Just so you can see them really nicely. And then camera, we'll just zoom out a bit and put camera up here. Okay, that'll do for now. Let's just go down a bit. So what we need to do is we need to create an emitter if we're going to emit the blood, basically. So let's just do a circle emitter. So we go in here, circle emitter. You notice now we've got a circle emitter here, which is cool. So this is kind of duplicating information, but yeah, I like to have both open. So okay, so we need what we need to do now. If we go into the relationship editor, so this is a great new tool, which is so handy actually now to visually see the relationships that are going on between the different nodes. So what we need to do, this emitter is going to be our blood, effectively, and we should rename that now as well. So let's just rename. You can right click, rename node. I'm just going to call that let's just do it, blood. Okay. So what we need to do now is we need to link all our objects and fields into this that we want. So I'd say what we need to do is basically you can do this different ways, but I like to actually just do them individually. So you just drag the top and plug it in. You can grab the whole group if you wanted to. And plug that in, but I like to have the to visually see these all separate, because you might want to just disconnect one, and so you can remove the connection. You might not want one of these in just to try something out, but so I like to see that. So this is basically saying this fluid emitter now will be using gravity, noisy field, surface tension, and the K volumes, K volume and noisy field. I'm going to zoom that in a bit so you can see that. Right, so the next stage we need to just do one thing, which is we'll go to here and we need to import one object. So go to import, objects, and squib. I've just pre-created this object for you, so if you just open that up, I can talk about that in a minute. So there's the squib object. Let's right click, zoom selected. It's coming down by his feet, we don't want that. So what we're going to do, this is just a tube basically, an interesting tube tunnel, you can see. We're going to fire the fluid along this tunnel, and it will create some interesting shapes, and then that will basically come out of where the gunshot is, and create a really interesting fluid shape. So let's just what what we'll do actually in the next lesson, we will put this in the correct place, and we will parent all the objects we need to it, and set the emitter up. So I'll see you in the next session.